Welcome to the Mobile Home Friend YouTube channel. I am Charles Odell, and this is your primary resource for everything manufactured housing. Whether you are tackling a full remodel like the one you see here, or just looking for honest advice on repairs and financing, we provide the data and technical deep dives you need to succeed. Our mission is simple: to help you save money and improve your home through first principles logic and transparent cost breakdowns. For the full technical guides and even more resources, visit us at mobilehomefriend.com.
Welcome to another deep dive from Mobile Home Friend. Today, we're looking at the crucial topic of mobile home leveling, based on our latest research at mobilehomefriend.com. Seriously, this is a topic that can literally make or break your home, and it's something people just don't talk about enough. You know, that quote right there, it's from Chuck Odell, an industry vet with over 20 years in the game, and it really hits the nail on the head. An unleveled home, it's not just a little annoyance. Think of it more like a slow-motion car crash for your investment. We've seen what happens when you ignore those first signs, and believe me, it gets ugly. So today, we're going to arm you with everything you need to know to protect your home. All right, here's the game plan. We're going to start with a home shifting foundation, then get into the science of why it even settles in the first place. After that, the really important part, reading the warning signs. Then we'll look at how the pros fix it, and finally, we'll talk about costs and give you a checklist to stay ahead of the game. Let's do it. Okay, let's get to the core of the problem. What is actually happening under your home? See, unlike a regular site-built house with this massive, deep concrete foundation, your home sits on a series of piers. I love this analogy. It's like a table with a bunch of legs. If just one of those legs is on shaky ground, the whole table gets wobbly, right? Well, the ground under your home is that shaky ground. It's always moving, and that's why leveling isn't a one-and-done deal. It's regular maintenance. So how often do you need to worry about this? Well, the general rule of thumb is every 12 to 24 months. But, and this is a big but, that's just a guideline. If you live somewhere with, say, super heavy rains or clay soil that acts like a sponge, you might need to check it way more often. Right, so we know when to check, but why does a home move in the first place? It's easy to think of the ground as this solid, permanent thing, but it's really not. It's alive, it's breathing, it's reacting to the weather, and all that movement gets transferred right up into the foundation of your home. And the number one culprit here? It's water, plain and simple. When soil gets wet, it expands, it swells up, pushing those piers upward. Then, when it dries out, what happens? It shrinks and contracts, and the piers sink back down. It's this endless cycle of swelling and shrinking that just completely throws your home out of whack. And this leads to what might be the single most important takeaway we have on the Mobile Home Friend website. Are you ready for it? 90% of leveling issues are actually just drainage issues in disguise. Think about that. If water is just sitting under your home, you're fighting a losing battle. Managing how water flows around your house is your absolute best defense. Okay, but here's the good news. Your home actually talks to you. It gives you all these little clues and signals when something is wrong. You just have to know what to look for and what to listen for. So let's get into those warning signs. The classic, the canary in the coal mine for leveling problems, sticking doors and windows. This is almost always the first thing you'll notice. If you suddenly have to lift a door to get it to latch, or a window just refuses to slide smoothly, that's not the door's fault. It means the entire frame around it is getting twisted and warped by a shift in the house. Now, if you're in a double wide, listen up, because this is a big one. The marriage line. That's where the two halves of your home join together. If you look up at the ceiling or down at the floor and see a gap starting to appear, that is a huge red flag. It means one side of your home is sinking or rising at a different rate than the other. You gotta address that fast. Okay, another telltale sign, cracks in the drywall. And I'm not talking about those tiny, random hairline cracks. You need to look for a very specific pattern. These diagonal stair-step fractures that often show up near the corners of doors and windows. When you see that, it's a dead giveaway that the frame of your home is under a lot of stress. All right, so you've spotted some of the warning signs. What now? How do the pros actually fix it? First things first, this is a precise, delicate operation. This is absolutely not a job for a car jack you've got in the garage. Seriously, you try that, you could buckle the main steel I-beam of your home. Leave it to the professional. So a real pro has a very specific method. First, they'll use something like a water level to find the one single highest point of the home. That's their benchmark. Everything else has to be brought up to meet that point. Then they do a full inspection, checking every pier, every shim for any kind of damage or rot. If anything looks weak, it gets replaced. Only then do they bring in the big hydraulic jacks and they lift the home. But get this, in tiny half-inch increments at a time, moving around the home to let the whole structure adjust slowly and safely.
Now, that was obviously a quick flyby of a pretty complex process. If you're a real technical person and you want the full breakdown of all the tools, the different kinds of piers, the whole shebang, you'll want to check out the complete post on mobilehomefriend.com. We get into all the nitty-gritty details there.
All right, time to talk about the bottom line. What's this actually going to cost you? And maybe more importantly, what can you do right now to keep those costs as low as possible? Consider this your official action plan. Okay, let's look at some numbers. For just a basic relevel, you're looking at maybe $550 to $800 for a single wide, and for a double wide, somewhere in the ballpark of $900 to $1,400. But, and here's the kicker, if you've let it go for a while and now some of the piers are damaged and need to be replaced, well then you're talking about a major relevel, and those costs can pretty much double. You know, the cheapest repair is the one you never have to make. Prevention is everything. So here's a super simple, actionable checklist from our article on the Mobile Home Friend website. Go outside. Does the ground slope away from your home? Good. Pop your head underneath. Is the vapor barrier intact? Are the skirting vents clear so air can move? Back inside, try the old door test. Open an interior door about halfway and let it go. If it moves on its own, you've got a slope. And finally, just take a look at the piers themselves. They should be perfectly vertical, straight up and down. So, we'll leave you with this one thought. After hearing all of this, think about your own home. That door that kind of sticks, that window that's a pain to open, that little crack you've been telling yourself is no big deal. Is your home trying to tell you something? Because at the end of the day, a level home is a happy home. It's more than just fixing those little annoyances. It's about protecting what is likely your biggest asset. Being proactive about this stuff isn't just about preserving the structure. It's about making sure your home holds on to its resale value for the long haul. Thanks for watching. For more guides and the full article on this topic, head over to mobilehomefriend.com. Don't forget to check the links in the description below.
Thanks for watching. For more technical guides on this topic, click the link to see the in-depth article over at mobilehomefriend.com. There are many more informational dives into manufactured home topics to investigate and keep your project moving forward.